Ladies and gentlemen, it is, let me unplug this charger, 3:34 in the morning. Now this is a Sunday morning. Early one Sunday morning. Okay, ain't no breakfast sitting on no table. Okay, it's too early. But I wanted to take the time and talk to you for a moment. Can we talk for a minute? Because I want to know my name. Can we talk for a minute? I want to know your name. Tevin Campbell. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sitting up here. I'm not in the game. I don't keep up with what everybody else is doing. I just did a video talking about how the gossip. I can't stand all of that. I I was a TikToker. I was scrolling up, just hitting that little finger and just scrolling up and going through videos. I'm interested in the news, real news. Sometimes, yeah, I can see something funny, and that's so funny. But most of it was gossip, and most of the funny stuff was people trying too hard, and then some of the funny stuff was people really being stupid. Let's get some movement in the background. Oh Lord, people being people, but people don't realize that they're not people anymore. We don't act right. We don't walk right. We don't talk right. We don't even communicate right. Excuse me, I gotta correct something. Hey, cut that noise out. I apologize. There are a bunch of dogs out there. Neighbors got dogs and they all bark at the same time. So my dogs, they want to participate. Man, woke me up. Uh-uh. We don't play that. They're right outside the window. And so basically, my dogs can play. They play all day long. Lord have mercy. But they're not allowed to do all that barking. I don't play that. They don't get to bark just to be barking. So when I hear them bark, I look at the cameras because I want to see what they barking at. Ain't nothing out there. So y'all ain't barking just to be barking. No, y'all gonna bark when there's a reason to bark, or I'm gonna give you a reason to bark. You know what I'm saying? Like Mama used to say, "Take your time, young man." And Mama used to say, "Don't you rush to get old." Anyway, what? Live your life. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, there is something wrong with us as not as a society. Don't talk about society. There's something wrong with us as a species. And yeah, we can talk about Charlie Kirk. It's when I first saw it, I did a video immediately, and I said nobody should lose their life because they said something. One of the first things my mother taught my family, we would come home, pay attention. Oh, Mama, they were talking about you at school. I remember that conversation. She looked at us, she smiled, and she said, "What did they say about me?" And then she asked, "And did that make y'all upset?" And we told her. And she said, "Let me tell y'all something." She said, "Them people don't know me, and I don't know them. So I don't care what they say about me. And y'all shouldn't care what they say about me because they don't know me. Anything they say ain't true." Ain't that something? From that point on, I've never cared what somebody had to say about me. Why? Because these people don't know me. I got people sitting up here talking about me as if it's new gossip, as if they know something about me that I don't know. They're reading articles. Go right ahead. First, the person who wrote the article, I'm not gonna say nothing about the intelligence of that person or persons or whoever they were. They don't know me. They've never talked to me. And anybody doing a video about me doesn't know me. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't operate like that. I don't just let people into my circle. Let me tell you how things were going. I was just going over my list of people I communicate with. My circle is very small. And my friends, I don't have any friends. No, no, no. Let me make sure you understand. I don't have any friends. All of the people who I gave an opportunity to be friends, I always test them out. They've all proven themselves to be untrustworthy. And when I say untrustworthy, I mean untrustworthy. That I don't care to be anywhere near those individuals because they did what Cyndi Lauper said. They showed me their true colors shining through. Because I saw their true colors. I always wait to see everybody's true colors. That's why I can have this conversation. Ladies and gentlemen, before I get to talking about what I was doing this particular communication for, because I said we're going to talk for a minute, let me explain something. Have you ever made a mistake and then somebody sat up there and laughed at you because you made a mistake? Don't worry about it. I made plenty of those. And they tried to embarrass you and you felt embarrassed? No, no, I've been there. Well, guess what? I don't get embarrassed by making a mistake anymore in front of people. I'll make a joke out of it myself. Why? Because it was funny. And I'll say something to the effect, oh, that was embarrassing. You know what I mean? And I'll go on about my business. I saw a guy, we were at a Home Depot, and he grabbed the box, and the box, every little piece of it, they were all small pieces, fell to the floor. And I looked over towards him and I said, I didn't see nothing, nothing. And he started laughing. I said, and I won't tell nobody. And I helped him pick it up. And I told him these words, that happens to me all the time. No, it doesn't. But for the sake of his personality, I needed to let him know that there was nothing to be embarrassed about. How many of you do that? How many of you let people know it's okay to make a mistake? I pause for a reason. You see, we used to do that as people. We used to be sociable. We're not sociable anymore. We are not sociable anymore. We don't let people walk up to us and talk to us anymore. Well, because people don't have nothing to talk about. And then that's the point right there. We're always assuming what the next person is doing. Stop judging people, people. Stop judging people. You know, I've been hearing about, and I'm going to speak about it. I could care less about some Epstein or some stupid files from Epstein. Okay? They killed the man. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. He didn't hang himself. They killed him. But now they want to, what's the word? Cancel everybody who knew him. Just because they knew him, ladies and gentlemen, just because you know somebody who murdered somebody doesn't make you a murderer. You didn't participate in the crime. If they murdered somebody, it was years ago. You're not holding them liable for something they did years ago. They paid the price for that crime. I talk to people who are incarcerated. These individuals are allowed to call me. Some of them have committed crimes, and they've paid the price for their crimes more than once. I know, a young life, ruining a young life, I know that that causes a lot of damage. But it's not our place to punish the person for eternity. I talk to these individuals who are incarcerated. We get to have those conversations about their remorse. They're not celebrating. No, 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 no. Some of them do celebrate. I'm not going to take that away from any of them. But many of you don't know. Now, I don't agree with the young man. If he did kill Kirk, I don't believe he did. I don't believe it's as cut and dry as they want us to believe. All I know is 6 months from now, they're going to tell us that he signed a plea. Hold on now. I guarantee you, 6 months from now, they're going to tell us he signed a plea. Why? Because there's just so much going on that we cannot know. We don't know what they're doing to him. We don't know if he is represented by counsel. All we know is what they're telling us. See, they're telling us the story. We don't know what's going on. Go ahead. We don't know anything other than what they're telling us. All we know is we saw somebody get shot, a bunch of people running, somebody showing us a video, then somebody telling us what happened after that. We don't know what happened. That's what I mean about gossip. Everybody has an opinion. When I first saw it, as I mentioned, I did a video saying how nobody deserves that. I don't care what they say about you, your mother, your brother, your sister, your father, your uncle, your cousin, niece, your nephew. I don't care if they sat up there and said you went into a store and you stole everything in the store and then you got in a car and you drove off and here's your license plate. That's not a reason to kill somebody. Well, snitches get stitches. Well, okay, fine. But since when do we kill someone? It used to be there had to be a reason to kill someone. Go back. You guys remember the time? Go back. Oh no, 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 man. No, no, that's no, no. We're not doing that. No, no. You can beat them up, but we ain't going that far. There used to be a time when people valued life. People don't value life anymore. Now, when I say people, I mean us as society. I was talking with someone yesterday and I was thinking about the level in which I would go if I lost control again. Okay. I've worked very hard to keep myself under control. I have people who want to do that testosterone thing, who want to man up with me, and I have to cut them completely off. I have to stop any communication with the person because they don't understand. I it's not about ego. It's about the fact that once I get to a point, I lose control. You guys have heard about it. People losing control and blacking out. Well, that's me. It's happened a couple of times in my life where I don't know. I don't remember what happened. I can't let that happen. I can't wake up. And when I say wake up, when I'm coming out of whatever it is I was in and find that I've done something that I can't take back, that my conscience won't allow me to deal with. I can't let that happen ever again. So I have to stay away. Why? Because I have to keep my humanity. Now, look, I went to the dictionary, speaking on the word humanity, and then I'm going to talk about what I was talking about. And I think it was a 1600 dictionary that literally said that human means monster. or monster, excuse me, monster means human. Anywho, ladies and gentlemen, we don't know what the word monster meant at the time, and we don't know who wrote the dictionary and if that was a common word because it's only in one dictionary and blah, blah, blah. But if human does mean monster, who gave them the right to take that word and create that definition? Matter of fact, for every word for which there's a definition, who gave that person the right, especially with English? We know definitions change all the time. You see it in legal ease. There's nothing easy about it, but you see it in legal terminology that they take words and they give it meanings all the time. Ain't that something? So be careful when you're dealing with definitions. Look, just because they have a definition for something doesn't make that the definition. You can clear that up easily. Okay, let's do some talking, all right? I got an email from a young man. Now, he doesn't know me. He gave me a manifesto. I mean, a long email. Oh, Lord. I told you guys. He doesn't know. He's only been watching videos for a little bit over a month. Don't send me no long emails. You're allowed to ask one question. And if I have the time, I'll take the time to answer your question. If it's a stupid question, there ain't no such thing as a stupid question. Oh, yes, there is. Oh, yes, there is. Go talk to your mama. She done asked so many of them. That's why you here. Anyway, if it's a stupid question, you're not going to get a response. What do I classify, and assign the term stupid to when it comes to a question? When you ask a question and I've already said I'm not going to answer. See, that's a stupid question because you know better. Stupid is what stupid does. Stupid always does what stupid knows better not to do. Okay, an ignorant person lacks the knowledge, so they don't know any better. He didn't know no better. But some of y'all know better. Okay. Oh, no. Stupid is not a bad word. If you call someone stupid, you're saying you know better. If you call someone ignorant, you're saying, look, you didn't know no better. We get so hung up on words, and that's the problem with our society. We get offended because of words. My mother was letting us know that words can't hurt us. That's what the rest of the conversation was about. Somebody picking up a bottle or a stick or something and hitting us with it, or somebody saying something to us with words. Which one hurts the most? I guarantee you, somebody hits you from behind with a bottle, you're going to feel that, right? Okay, but if somebody says something to you, and that's the conversation. So I've never been strong on words. I've never been strong on you talk about my mama and all of that stuff. And now I'm about to kick you, never had, that's never been the case because she made sure we understood that when we were young and we were in elementary school. That's how young we were. And this was before I was in the fourth grade because it was a neighborhood school we went to. And then we didn't go to the neighborhood school. I didn't go to the neighborhood school no more. Well, I tried to go back to the neighborhood school, but no. Oh, God. Anyway, no, the neighborhood school was a battlefield. And I didn't feel like being in that battlefield. And I didn't feel like clicking up with people because that's what it was like. And I didn't want to be that. I wanted to be free to be able to do what I wanted to do, to be able to hang around whomever I chose. I didn't want to just hang around this group because they were blah, 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 and that group because they were blah, 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 and we couldn't talk to that group because they were. I didn't want that. I choose not to be in that part of life. Well, anyway, getting back to the conversation. There are many people doing videos, many of them offering a whole lot, and they're telling you guys y'all have to pay a whole lot. Look, we have our mega pack. Go and look at our site. You won't find anything at a price higher than that. And if you knew, all of you, the amount of work going into the mega pack, especially adding in the other documents to the mega pack. Now look, those of you who already got a mega pack, you're going to be receiving something shortly. So be patient. Don't be sending emails. just because you hear me talk about it, unless you hear it officially from the company. Be patient. This is just general information. Okay. I'm just letting you know things that are going on behind the scenes. So you're getting that insider information. That's what it is. Insider information. Anyway, there's a it took 9 months to put that together. Now look, I have a policy. When we do documents for people, we tell everybody you must read the whole thing. You must edit this document to fit your situation. Do not change this, do not change that, but you can change this and you can change that. That's what we tell people all the time. We purposely, pay attention, put certain phrases or words misspelled or out of context on purpose. Why? Because there are too many people taking our documents and trying to duplicate it. That's how we can tell it's what we produced. There are too many people taking documents and just adding their names and just sending it in. I had one person, I was helping them with a particular case, and they were just signing it and sending it in, not doing any edits, even though I told them to edit it. And then I would look at the document. I said, no, you were supposed to change that. I told you to change this and I told you to change that. It's people. They do it all the time. We hired people to work for our company. They were putting together what's called a business prospectus. They didn't know anything about it. So I told them what they needed to do. And they made it look like they were really studying this stuff and going over it. And so they put together a prospectus and they turned it in. And the company rejected it. And I'm yelling at them. How dare you? What is the problem? And the guy finally told me, he says, sir, that item you sent us in was for blah, blah, blah company. They didn't even remove that name out of it. They just took your company's name and added it every place else, but they left the original company's name and the percentages and everything. No, we cannot accept that. You talk about embarrassment. I told him, sir, I am so sorry for that. I did not know. Thank you, yes, but we cannot issue that to you. We were applying for the status of having QSIPs, being able to issue QSIP numbers. That's how important that was. That was S&P Global. That was 2017. I've not tried again since because those individuals let me know that I definitely can't trust people to do simple things like that. Trained them and everything, told them what they needed to do and everything, told them what was necessary, and they decided that they were going to sabotage. No, no, no. That wasn't their work ethic. They were sabotaging the company, the two people who worked on that, and they were doing it on purpose. You see what I mean? That's people for you. People are people, no matter what. What? They're stupid. You and I should get along. So what? People are stupid. That's what the name of the song should have been. People are stupid. Okay, that's what the name of the song should have been. Anywho, we try to keep our prices down. There's a lot of mailing. And if you guys don't understand mailing, it's about $1 per envelope. Pay attention. We have sent out on average for our clients 50 separate communications. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. If you have a debt, you just have to keep challenging the debt every single letter. Every letter they respond to, you respond back, said you didn't answer my question. That's not what I asked for. You're supposed to provide this. And you send them back your letter. And you just keep going back and forth. What? That's how you keep them from continuing to go after you. When you stop responding is where they get to continue. All you gotta do is keep asking questions. You didn't know? My bad. Well, anyway, excuse me. 50 letters being sent out on average just for postage. If it's just a regular mail with 7 pieces of paper inside the envelope, That's $1 per envelope on average. If it's priority mail, that's $9 per envelope. Most of ours are priority mail. So let's average it. Let's bring it up to 10. Let's round it off. 50. And let's take that 50 envelopes being sent out and let's bring that down to 40. So let's do $10 times 40. That's what's going on. Now, I told everybody I have one guy that I'm helping personally, and I remind him of this on occasion. You came to me in October of 2021, and you're still in your house. He hasn't paid rent. He hasn't done a loan modification. Yeah, he's applied for it. That's just a routine. But he hasn't done a loan modification. He's been in bankruptcy. They have dismissed his bankruptcy. He's refiled. They have kept trying to come after him, but he's not refiling. I'm refiling. I'm doing the paperwork for him. They're dealing with me. They just, three separate cases with him, reinstating appeals and because they dismissed it, and then reestablishing this and resetting this and what is it, vacating this order and vacating that order because they're dealing with me. He wouldn't have been able to do this on his own. They're dealing with me because, as I told them on his behalf, I know their stupid routine. And I'm not being nice to them. I'm calling them all kind of things in petitions. I am pissing them off on purpose so that they dismiss things, so that they give these stupid orders, so that I can call them out. Because, see, judges are not supposed to get personal. I've been getting personal with them on purpose so that I can highlight the unethical nature in which they've been ruling. And they've been seeing it. Oops, my bad. You follow me? And then all of a sudden, they see that I've set them up. And now they're trying to make up for it without making up for it. I'm showing the whole collusion of the courts throughout the United States against my person. They have a computer where everybody's name is in it. The moment you file something, they're putting your name through a database, seeing what other cases you filed. That's their routine. And they're going off of those previous cases. Well, they've been trying to block me. And when I recognized that's what they were doing, I've been setting them up so I could prove that they were blocking my access so that I could go after them. Anywho, this particular gentleman whom I'm helping, he's nowhere near being foreclosed on. They're still trying to. Still trying to get the court to let them order a sell date, but they can't because we're still in court. They're paying the attorney. The attorney is making money, but the attorney is also looking stupid and making his client look stupid because this is not what he thought this was going to be. He thought this was going to be a wham bam. Hey, we're in and out. Hey, you got it. You're out of your house. Hey, there's your eviction. Bye bye. See you later. Hey, give me my money. To the bank that he's representing. 4 years they've been going in and out of court. 4 years they've been responding and we've been making them look stupid. 4 years. I'm not finished with them yet. I have to determine whether or not I want to do this another 4 years because I can keep doing the same thing that they've been doing for 4 years. It's the court system. That's why cases last so long. I can keep this stuff in and out of court for the next 8 years if I want. That's following their rules, using their system against them. I don't have a problem, but I can't do this for everybody because it's too much work. Even the person I'm helping, he's only paid $2,500, around that much. He hasn't paid much. I'm not charging him for every document I file. I'm letting them know that the amount of work it takes. It took me 4 days this week just to write 4 petitions for him. And one of them I labored on. Lord have mercy, I labored on. I redid that petition about 5 times. And originally it was 35 pages. I reduced it to 18, brought it back to 24, brought it down to 11, and finally settled at, I think, 16 pages. A lot of work. A lot of back and forth, and a lot of, oh, no, I didn't use ChatGPT. A lot of that, too. Okay. And, oh, the petitions I'm doing for the guy, these are not responding to junk they're doing now. This is responding to junk they're going to be doing 2 months from now that I know they're going to do in advance. So I'm anticipating. That's why it took so long, because I'm anticipating what they're getting ready to do. And I am cutting them off before they do it, so that when they do it, I can say, we already responded to that. That's what I do to them. I palm play them. This is a chess game. This is a card game. And I am palm playing them. I am standing right behind them, looking at what their moves are and what they got in their hand. And I'm telling them what they got in their hand. I just saw a video on YouTube where they were showing a clip from a movie where the guy is telling a person every single card he had in his hand. The Mr. Miyagi was the guy with the cards in his hand. He's telling him in this movie, where the actor who played Mr. Miyagi, every single card he has in his hand and the reason how he knows he has that card. Well, this is what I do to the courts. Have been doing it to them since the 90s. Can't tell you when I started. I know that it was right about the time, it had to have been 1993 or 4. It had to be right about the time when I learned and I focused on it. I used to watch some Kung Fu movies, but some of them I started paying attention to, the Confucian stuff, where they talked about using your opponent's weight, energy, and weapons against them. I started focusing on that more so, and I started doing that. Well, anyway, back to all of the other people doing these programs. Ladies and gentlemen, if they're charging you, $15,000, $20,000 to do something, and let's say you're going to make $100,000 and they're going to charge you $10,000, that's too much. Why is that too much? I'm making $100,000. I'm only giving them 10. That's 10%. They haven't done 10% worth of work. They haven't put forth 10. So what? You're getting $100,000. You're losing $10,000. Why are you just giving away $10,000? Well, because I'm getting 100,000, so I'm basically getting $90,000. Yes, but they're making $10,000 off of you. The same thing the banks do. The same thing the banks do. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll be doing videos over the next couple of weeks proving to you. Now, you have people going out there saying they're using your own credit. They are not giving you the full story. I can prove that for every mortgage, car loan, and student loan, they are using your own credit, but it's not the way you think. It's not the you have unlimited credit. Don't think that. Oh God, it's not that you have unlimited credit. I will explain it A to Z, and I will show you the court cases prior to 1950 where the courts have highlighted this whole game from beginning to end. Okay? I've had 2 consultations where I've explained it to the guys, proved it to them, and for the rest of you, because I wasn't thinking about that. I was thinking more so responding to the idiots, blah, 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 and proving the discount window thing. But then I said, you know what? Let's go. They keep saying it's a sovereign citizen thing, so let's prove that it isn't. And so now we will prove that they are using your credit. But like I said, it's not your credit as if the credit was already there. No, no, no. The credit is being created by you. You just don't know how. So I'll explain how. Okay. You ain't no Indian. What you mean, how? Shut up. Anywho, ladies, gentlemen, um, having people mention lately that other people are charging them $15,000, $20,000, why would you spend that type of money? Lord have mercy. I was just talking with the people at DataMass and how much they are trying to help people. Now they're getting ready to do accounts receivables. I am paying them to do the people who were incarcerated. My people, pay attention, the people who I recommended to the organization who are incarcerated, who sent in their communication from jail. Not those of you who notified your friends who were in jail. Don't know if I'm going to do them. But I recommended arbitration to several people, about maybe 40. And I am going to pay Data Mass to do their taxes. Okay. Because they didn't have the knowledge, the wherewithal. They don't have the research capability to go after. Let's stop that wave. Hey, stop. Okay. They didn't have the research capabilities of going after them, going after the courts, going after the prosecutors for violating their rights. So I'm going to assist them so that they can at least get the credits placed on their transcripts. Ladies and gentlemen, you all need to understand something. You need to understand, pay attention. If the IRS gives you credits on your transcripts, pay attention. Those credits are dollar for dollar. Go ahead. You've ever tried using the credits on your transcripts? Do they not take it dollar for dollar? Do they not offset your debt dollar for dollar? That means it has value. If it's dollar for dollar, pay attention. Then that means you should be able to, because it's an accounts receivable, take that dollar for dollar accounts receivable and transfer it so that you can utilize it, so that you can monetize it. But that's what you need to learn. Many of you are not doing that type of research. Many of you have gotten off of that research. You've gone to so many different things and look, go back to your focus. Go back to your focus because you were on the right track. That distraction, they did that distraction on purpose. Purpose. You are purpose. They did that distraction on purpose. You are purpose. You are the reason. There's an algorithm out there, ladies and gentlemen. There's an algorithm. There's a bot on every one of your devices, every one of your computers, and it's designed to distract you. TikTok. Sorry. Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube. Those are all distraction items. That's to keep you Americans at bay. Go and take a look. The only thing they couldn't handle was Los Angeles. All of the people rioting and protesting, and they keeping that junk off the news, having to tell people they have to put in the search, what was it? Music festival. If you don't believe me, go to YouTube, type in music festival. You'll see all the rioting that was going on. You heard what I said, protests and rioting. YouTube was censoring the videos that had protest and riot in it so that the rest of the country could not see what was going on in Los Angeles and the Los Angeles area. Go ahead. Ain't been hearing about it much anymore either. What? Charlie Kirk. There was something in the news just before Charlie Kirk was doing all that. There was something in the news. There was a silhouette and some words. Happy birthday. You know, you and I got something in common like Bobby and Whitney. And, hey, keep one of them there for me because I'm gonna be there next week. That type of letter. And then all of a sudden, Charlie Kirk was given a speech and he said a phrase dealing with violence. Next thing you know, he gets he gets shoot. He gets shot at that very moment that he says that word. Interesting, ain't it? Oh, by the way, pay attention. Watch the video of the guy coming off the roof. Notice that you don't see no long rifle. Pay attention. Notice you don't see no long rifle, but remember he dropped it in the woods. Notice you don't see no long rifle with him coming off of that roof. Shh, he's got a backpack. Shh, shh, don't tell nobody. Go ahead. It's on the news. The FBI put that out there, so I can go look at it. Notice you don't see no long rifle in his hand. Notice when he's walking, see he has a backpack. Well, he took it apart. He took it apart? Really? Is that what he did? And then when he got in the woods, how come they found the entire thing in the woods? They didn't find it in pieces. He didn't drop one piece here and one piece there. They found the whole thing. So why would he, while he's walking through the woods, take it out of the backpack and just drop it all in one place? Why wouldn't he drop it in several places? Why didn't he toss it? Something ain't right. Hey, Key Sweat, I'm telling you, something just ain't right. What? They said he had a long rifle. That doesn't fit in the backpack without protruding out of the backpack. Well, he took it apart. Okay, he took it apart. So how come they found the whole thing together in the woods? They didn't say they found it taken apart. They said they found it, the rifle, in the woods. Then they had some transgender writing on the bullets. Yeah, pay attention. He took the time to engrave the bullets. Does that sound like a 22-year-old? Shh, shh, shh. Don't tell nobody. A 22-year-old. And he wrote a manifesto, and his father turned him in, and his family turned him in, and his best friend turned him in, and everybody's turning him in. Really? Yeah, that seems plausible. Yep. No history of violence, but they're going to come up with some. Yeah, he was offended. Oh, wait, hold on. He was living at home with his parents, but he had a transgender lover. Huh? That don't make no sense. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Something ain't right. There's something wrong with that story. It ain't adding up. So y'all pay attention to the news and watch how they lie, because somebody's lying. Something just ain't right. All right, I gotta go watch Superman. I'm watching Superman and the Elite. I watch anime cartoons from time to time, and I like Superman, Batman, and Halo, and all of those animations, and and Doctor Stone in English, and the Academy in English. All right, so we're gonna let y'all go. It's 4:17, and this is my routine. When I wake up, I don't get on the weekends. I don't get up right away. I got paperwork to do, so I'll be getting up about 6, 2 hours from now, to start on the paperwork. A lot of paperwork, taking up my entire weekend. Hey, that's what I do. Like I said, if only people knew the amount of work that goes into all of this. This is 7 days a week. This is Sunday. I haven't had a break, but I am pacing myself. So, ladies and gentlemen, just because somebody offers you something, get to understand what they're offering you. Yes, you don't know enough about it to know about it, but check to see if somebody's offering the same thing. The guy contacted us, says somebody is charging $15,000 for something. I said, look, we just purchased something for one of our companies. Well, actually, we purchased it for two separate items for one of our companies to help people with their credit, improve their credit, and to apply for business loans, because we're going to help people start their own nonprofit organizations. We've started with the mega pack. Everybody who gets a mega pack, the business mega pack, it comes with a sole proprietorship. And that sole proprietorship will have the ability of being a sole proprietorship that can seek funding. Okay. But we will let you all know. We'll give you more details about that in the future. But the fixing of the credit and getting business funding at the minimum of $100,000, that's what we're doing for people. All right. And no, it ain't gonna cost you 15, 20, $30,000. It ain't gonna cost you $10,000. It ain't gonna cost you $5,000. We're not gonna do that stupid stuff. I don't work that way. I'm not in this to get rich. People, you haven't heard me talking about me making money. I talk about the company, and if you see the amount of mailings that we send out, we ain't no joke. Ain't nobody getting rich off of you. Okay? I spend all my time trying to help people. I'm not out here buying new cars and new this and new that. You don't hear me talking about that. The vehicle I drive is a 2009. Okay? And I'm not seeking to get another vehicle. I've never had a new vehicle. I don't want a new vehicle. I need point A to point Z. That's it. I don't need new. I don't care about new. When you get new, you gotta maintain new. I don't have that type of time. So I'm not here to get rich off of none of y'all. And nobody will ever accuse me of that. I had some person accuse me of trying to defraud them, trying to take advantage of them. What? I told you, that's the first thing people want to do with someone like me. Say, I'm trying to take your money. Lord have mercy. Especially lately, having to tell people, you ain't paying me enough to put up with this. Take your money back. Get out of here. It costs me every time I give someone a refund, it costs me. Okay, I have to pay the transaction fees. The original transaction fee and plus the transaction fee of giving them back their money. That comes out of my pocket. And you don't hear me sitting up here trying to make up for that with something else. Because that's how I do business. I believe everybody reaps what they sow. That's why I'll give you back your money. If I did something wrong, then I'll suffer the monies it cost me to give it back to you. But if I didn't do something wrong and it cost me, then you'll have to suffer the consequence for that. I fully believe that. You may not believe it, but all I say is sit back, keep doing that to people, and see if there isn't a consequence. You can't get away from that reality. There's always consequences for every action, whether positive or negative. No one can avoid that. So I sit back and I allow people to suffer consequences. All right, look, we're at 50 minutes. Uh-oh, I messed up. I hit the phone. Woohoo! We're at 50 minutes. It's time to go. Y'all have a good day. Arrivederci.